In early November, a new version of STAAD.Pro CONNECT Edition has been released with several new enhancements, design code updates, and with some exciting new features. Do you know in this version you can auto-generate wind load as per IS875 Part 3 code or Chinese code in just few clicks? After a long wait, this feature is finally implemented in STAAD. And not only this, there are several other important updates which I am going to discuss in this video. Hi, my name is Surajit Ghosh, and in the next 20 minutes, I'll talk about the updates in the latest version of STAAD.Pro CONNECT Edition, which is V22, Update 8. Build number is 22.08.00.175. If you are using an older version of STAAD.Pro CONNECT Edition, then I'll suggest to watch this video till the end to get an idea why you should update to the latest version. And if you are still using older V8i version, then you are not utilizing the full power of STAAD. In last 5 years, hundreds of new features has been implemented in CONNECT Edition. Not only that, there are more than 10 modules which were a paid module in V8i version, but in CONNECT Edition, all these are included with basic STAAD license. If you want to know more about these modules, let me know in the comments. And one suggestion, you should update to the latest CONNECT Edition. Before going into the details, few information about this update. Whenever a new version of STAAD is released, that release information is posted in the RSS feed, and you can get this from your STAAD interface. As you can see, there is one new update in the news feed, which is related to the latest version. We can expand and get more information from here. Launch the product release page directly to check the major updates. Most important enhancements and major bug fix are normally reported in this page. To get a detailed information about all the change, you need to go through the revision history file. For each STAAD version, all the update and enhancement information are reported in a revision history file. This is included in the help manual and also posted in Bentley community site. Check the video description for the link. You can open any of these files, for example, file for the latest version. All the change in update 8 version are reported here. It's a long list with detailed information, and you can easily check whether these updates are relevant to your projects or going to affect any analysis and design results. I always suggest to check the revision history file first to understand the recent change and then update your STAAD version. This will eliminate any confusions, including the result mismatch issues. Also, you can get the update information from connection client. For CONNECT Edition, license usage is monitored through this connection client application, and it also provides information related to the latest version. If you are using an older version of STAAD, then you will get updates whenever a new version is released. I have already installed the latest version, so it is not available in this list, but there are several updates related to other structural products. We can directly select and update any Bentley product from this window. Note that if software installation is maintained by your IT team, then probably you don't have the privilege to update STAAD directly from here. You need to contact your IT team or download the installer file from Bentley software download page. Now coming to the update details. I have grouped all the updates in few categories like updates in analytical and physical modeler, analysis, design and post-processing updates, OpenSTAAD enhancements, and finally updates in other modules like in advanced concrete design, ramp connection, or foundation design module. Also, there are few updates related to interoperability with other products. I will start from Analytical Modeler. First major update which I want to discuss is auto-generation of wind load using Indian design code. This is one of the most requested feature, and finally in update 8, generation of wind load for different types of structure using IS875 Part 3 2015 code is automated, and two different options are provided for this auto generation. First, the traditional two-step wind load approach using wind definition and wind load case. Till update 7, auto generation of wind load was limited to AISC 7 and Russian SNP code. And if you use Indian code, then you need to manually calculate the height versus intensity data and provide in the wind definition table. In this version, wind definition window is slightly modified, and here you can select the design code as IS875 Part 3. Once you select this code and add wind definition, you can generate wind data using this Generate tab. In the wind load page, we need to provide different inputs to generate the height versus intensity data. And this facility is provided for four types of structure: clad and unclad building structure, free wall and hoardings, and lattice tower. Depending on the structure type, input windows will be changed automatically to that category. Say we want to generate wind load for a rectangular clad building. Few basic information about structure is automatically fetched from the model, like height of the structure. Rest of the inputs like location, class, and importance of the structure, terrain category, and the topography factor, which is not automated using Annex C, needs to be provided. In the next page, we need to provide inputs required to calculate the force or pressure coefficient values. Coefficient factors can be calculated from clause 7.3 using CPE and CPI value, or can be specified as per clause 7.4. Finally, on basis of these inputs, design wind pressure values are calculated and plotted. These values will be used for wind load calculation. Similarly, we can select the structure type as free wall, and from the wall specific input page, provide the structural information of the wall or hoarding. This information along with the coefficient will be used for wind pressure calculation. Once done, this wind data will be reflected in the table, same table which we need to manually generate in older version. It is very easy, right? And this will definitely save a lot of time and effort. Next, we can create few wind load case and add this wind definition to generate wind loads from different directions. There is another enhancement related to this. Under the load ribbon, you can notice a new option, wind load generator. Currently, this option is provided only for Indian code. Using this, we can generate the wind definition and apply the load on the structure without any additional steps. In this version, this feature is limited to clad or unclad building structure only. So, if you want to design a standard or high-rise building structure, you can use this wind load generator option. In the wind profile page, we need to specify all the inputs required to calculate the design wind pressure value. These inputs are similar to the wind generator tab, like location, risk and importance factor, terrain category, A graph is provided to check the wind load variation. In the next page, wind load cases are generated automatically on basis of the inputs. This page eliminates the second step of the traditional wind load approach. Here, we can directly select the coefficient values in different directions, which are auto-generated, specify the permeability value, and apply load from different directions, either on entire structure, or we can apply wind load on a group of members, listed members, or within a specific range. We can also exclude wind load from a direction if required. And once we hit the generate button, you can notice several wind load cases are generated in the model with wind loads acting from different directions. Wind load is not only applied on the external surface, rather, internal loads are properly calculated and applied on the relevant walls. This method is very easy. All we need to do is provide some basic structural information, and wind load cases are automatically added to the model. Do you think this new enhancement will help in your project? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Also mention if you need a detailed discussion on this feature with more technical insight. For Chinese wind code GB 5009, there are several updates, like the same facility that is provided for Indian code is also extended to the Chinese code. Apart from this, wind definition can be generated now for truss and circular structures with improved face identification and definition methods. There are also a number of bug fixes which were hampering the overall performance of STAAD, and with these fixes, STAAD is now more stable than earlier version. There is another important change, though this will not affect any analysis or design results. In older version of STAAD, there is a single loading type for seismic load. In this version, this seismic load type has been further divided in seismic H and seismic V type. Using this extra load type, we can generate additional load combination cases for vertical seismic load. As the seismic load type is now discontinued, so whenever you open an old STAAD model with seismic load type using update 8, a warning is reported that your existing seismic load type is now replaced with seismic H type. Please ignore this warning. Nothing to worry about this, as this will just change the seismic load type. You need to save the model in update 8 to accept this change. And this additional load type is included in the Eurocode load combination generator window. Do you know you can generate load combinations using Eurocode from User Tools, Eurocode Load Generator option? In this load generator window, under load categories, seismic H and seismic V types are provided, which we can use to generate separate load combination cases for horizontal and vertical seismic load. There are few major updates in physical modeler. First one is related to the tank module. Since update 6, an additional structure wizard with tank module generator is included in the physical modeler, which can generate a FEM tank model with complete geometry and loading. Few additional options are now provided in the RCDC tank module. Now we can add two levels of wall with different thickness value. If the bottom portion of the tank wall has more thickness than the top, this can be specified by different wall height and thickness inputs. Same can be designed as a step wall in RCDC module. Also, soil inputs are extended to provide additional options to model tanks which are partially or completely buried in the soil. We can now specify the soil and water table heights along with the surcharge pressure which are considered during soil load and buoyancy calculation. If you want to design an underground water or liquid storage tank, you can easily define the geometry from this module with auto-generation of soil load on the walls and base of the tank. Another major update in this module is the inclusion of group command, and this group option is better than what we have in analytical modeler. In physical modeler, there is no separate cursor available to select different entities. So, in the group window, an additional filter option is provided which can generate a group based on all selected entities or a member or node group. Most useful feature of this group specification is the inclusion or removal of the entities. For example, we can select a portion of the structure and create only a member group based on the selection. Rest of the selected entities like node and plates will be ignored. Later, if we want to add any new beam or even a surface in this group, we can simply select that and add those directly in the existing group. Similarly, we can select and remove any element from the group. This dynamic modification of group entities is really helpful during modeling. There are few other modifications in the physical modeler which you can check from the revision history file. Coming to the update in Analysis and Design Engine. Latest version of Canadian Steel Design Code CSA S16-2019 has been implemented in Update 8. Previously, 2001, 9 and 14 version of this code were available in STAAD, but now you can use the latest version of this code for the design of steel members. There are a couple of design parameters which are specific to this code: CAN and IMM parameter. Rest of the design parameters and design philosophy are same. You can get more information from the help manual. For steel design as per EC3 code, there is an important update. Till update 7, it was not possible to perform strength and serviceability design in a single design block using two separate sets of loads. For other design code, this facility is available using load envelope specification, but not for Eurocode. In Update 8, you can define two separate sets of load envelopes, one for strength check and another one for serviceability check, and include this before the design block. This envelope window is also modified to select the drop-down option. During member design, program considers load from strength envelope for capacity checks and load from serviceability envelopes for deflection checks. Using this, we can define a single design block for all design checks, and final unity ratio will reflect the critical value considering both strength and deflection check results. In addition to this enhancement, there are few bug fixes related to T-section design using EC3 code. For AISC 360 code, there is no major enhancement, but there are few bug fixes which might affect the design results, like fix in section classification, warping constant, or yield strength value. Member selection routine is also modified to address few problems which were hampering the optimum section selection process. So, more optimized section will be selected if Update 8 is used for design with select command. In Update 7, Chinese steel design interface has been included in STAAD workflow, and this is further modified in latest version. Additional options are provided for the color coding of results and to handle different sets of loads for service and strain check purpose. Also, this interface is improved to handle multiple parameters, materials, and press angles. More details are provided in the revision history file. There is another major enhancement related to finite element results. Till now, in the plate results page, results for individual load are reported. If you want to check the extreme effect considering multiple load cases, then no option was available and we need to manually sort the results. Now, an additional option is provided using which we can check the plate results for load envelopes. What this means, if there are 1000 load combinations present in a model, then in the plate stress contour and plate results table, we can select the envelope option and program reports the critical result considering all or selected loads used for finite element analysis. Using this envelope option, we can easily check the worst condition and accordingly rectify the model. There are several other minor change and bug fix which I am not going to discuss. You can check this information from the revision history file. One final improvement which I want to discuss about the OpenSTAAD functions. In update 8, several new and important functions are added in the OpenSTAAD library, as well existing problems has been fixed. There is a change in function name for master slave specification, which is now modified to control dependent relation. This will affect your old OpenSTAAD codes with master slave command. Also, the manual has been updated to provide additional information for published and undocumented functions. If you work with custom OpenSTAAD codes, then I'll suggest to check the OpenSTAAD manual available with this version for more details. Along with this updated STAAD, latest version of Advanced Concrete Design or RCDC module, RAM connection, and STAAD Foundation modules are provided, and you can check the build numbers from here. If you use any of these modules in your project, then you can notice several new features like in RAM connection, new cassette connection module for IS800 2007 code, and meter knee connection for Australian and New Zealand code is implemented. Also, the base plate module has been modified. RCDC module now supports stepped tank wall design as per Eurocode and pile cup design as per Australian code. Rebar information can be exported to iTwin platform. If you update your STAAD version to the latest, then all these modules will be automatically updated to the latest version. No additional installation is required. In short, these are all the major updates and enhancements included in the latest STAAD.Pro CONNECT Edition Update 8. I strongly recommend to upgrade your STAAD version and use these new features. For more details, visit the product release page. Thanks for watching.